going to have to live this new year without our phones.
That was so last century.
So 2 minutes ago.
Oh, the Millennium Bug. Why were we so terrified? It might seem silly to you now, but you don't know, you weren't there. It actually had to do with computers and how they have evolved since then. Back when computers were first being invented, every byte of data a computer could hold was expensive. So to save the number of bytes, they shortened the dates. So instead of inputting the year 1970, they would represent that simply as 70, and they saved 2 digits, which sounds like nothing, but when you consider how many times it might need to be represented, it added up. Now, with the year 2000 coming up, Y2K, the worry was that computers from that time would not be able to recognize a date from 2000 and instead would see them as 1900 or 1901. People began to think that computers would cease to function at midnight on December 31st, 1999. This could cause a worldwide blackout, power plants shut down, all phones would stop working, bank accounts erased, people stocked up on food and water. Oh, do you like my phone? It's so small, right? It's the latest technology. But people who actually did know how computers work were making sure that all critical functions remained up and working. So, in the end, nothing happened. Never underestimate what people will do in an end-of-the-world scenario. In the 1990s, extremist Islamic groups in the Middle East vowed to attack the United States. Terrorism was not a major issue in the 2000 presidential election, but it will soon begin to dominate American politics. As of the year 2000, the United States was at peace and enjoying economic prosperity as the 2000 presidential election neared. The Democrats chose Al Gore, who had served as Bill Clinton's vice president, as their nominee. The Republican candidate was Texan Governor George W. Bush, the son of former President George H.W. Bush. One major campaign issue was how to use the federal budget surplus, which totaled nearly $100 billion in 1999. Gore said that he would use the money on education and healthcare and pay off part of the national debt. Bush promised to return the money to taxpayers in the form of tax cuts. Bush and Gore also debated the role that the United States, now the world's only superpower, should play in global affairs. Campaign polls showed that the race was very, very close. On election night, the voting in some states was so close that no winner could be declared. It soon became clear that Florida's 25 electoral votes would determine the outcome of the election. The popular vote in Florida was so close that the state law required that votes be recounted. A machine recount found that Bush had received a few hundred more votes than Al Gore. But Gore supporters wanted to make sure, so they asked that 4 counties be counted by hand, arguing that this would ensure all votes were counted. The Bush campaign challenged this manual recount in court, and after several weeks of suspense, the Supreme Court ruled that a manual recount could not ensure that all votes would be counted the same way, and they ordered them to stop counting the votes. So Florida went to Bush, making him the winner of the election. He was the first president in more than 100 years to win the electoral vote, while receiving fewer popular votes than his opponent. The disputed election caused lingering bitterness between Democrats and Republicans. But Bush will appoint Colin Powell to the key position of Secretary of State. Powell became the first African American to hold this office. Bush will also sign into law an education reform plan called No Child Left Behind. This act created a national set of standards for every student and every school to meet. It also became the #1 thing we had to listen to our teachers complain about in class. We thought the year 2000 was the year that was going to change everything, that life as we knew it would never be the same again. Well, we were just off by 1 year, because what happened in 2001 did change everything.
When I came home at lunchtime, I heard a funny noise. Went out to the backyard to find out if it was one of those rowdy boys. Stood there with my neighbor, called Peter, in a flux capacitor. He told me he